Hey guys, how's it going? I want to talk to you guys a little bit about diagnoses and how we focus too much on the word diagnosis itself instead of focusing on what is the challenge that we actually have and what can we do to try to do whatever we want to do better. You know, we want to fight that challenge, whatever it is. And diagnosis is really just a fancy word of saying that you have some sort of disability or you have something that's a challenge that we need to find a solution to so that you can do whatever it is you want to do. So let's talk a little bit about the real question. The real question is, what works for you? So what works, what the doctors recommend, a lot of times doesn't work for everybody. A lot of doctors prescribe medicine, which does work for people, and therapy, which works for some people. But some people don't want either one. And so I'll use myself as an example. I've struggled with bouts of depression before. And when I go through something like that, a lot of doctors will tell me you need to use a medication or you need to go to a therapist and try that. But instead what I do is I've learned to manage on my own. I have a support group, I have people that I talk to.
Bro, what's going on?
And also I go for walks and I play video games and I read books to try to change the way that I think about the world, and whatever's got me down, I try to rethink about it. And so there's all kinds of different things that you can try, and I want to encourage you to try to do those different things because they're really important. So really, some diagnoses are not even diagnoses, but they're just strengths and weaknesses, right? So for example, I saw this picture floating around the internet of this youth who got into a helicopter ride over New York City. It was like a 20-minute ride. And there's this picture that went viral on the internet where he saw the city in that 20-minute ride and was able to draw the full city just after seeing it in the helicopter ride. And he has autism. And so a lot of times this can be like a superhero. You know, you may be diagnosed with autism, but you're really good at math or really good at honing in and focusing on data or something like that. And so some people manage that way. They know the strengths of what they have. So, you know, I was diagnosed with ADHD as well. And so I'm hyper. And I change topics often and stuff like that. That makes me a very dynamic speaker and helps me when I'm talking to people, and I can be interesting and change and different things like that. So it's possible to think about whatever it is that you may have an issue with and figure out different things that maybe are not clinical, maybe are not medicine and therapy. And it's very easy for us to find ourselves almost in like a denial, right? Almost like we don't have nothing because we keep facing that stigma where people are looking at us differently and talking about us differently, but we don't have to deal with that. All we have to do is find ways to use our strengths. And for our weaknesses, we find a way to either cope with it or deal with it to where we can continue everyday life. And we don't have to worry about what are you diagnosed with or what do people think or what's the stigma. We can just live our lives and do it the best way that we can. That's the main thing is I want to encourage you guys to think about different creative solutions to what it is that you struggle with. And that's a better route to take instead of to say, well, I don't have anything, I'm fine, when we're actually really struggling with something. So I encourage you to think about what is it you're struggling with and how to fix it and how to find a solution that works for you. That's the main thing to take away from this video, guys, is what works for you. And whatever it is, find ways to do it. So I mentioned walking earlier. If I can't walk, if it's raining or something, maybe I go to the gym.
Ready?
Yeah.
Or maybe I go read a book inside, or maybe I'll go do something else. There's all kinds of different ways, and you're never limited. You're never limited. The thing that limits us a lot of times is our own head. So we have to find a way to not limit ourselves and go out and do something. So, all right. I want to encourage you guys, go out there, do big things, and we'll talk later. See ya.